relationship I'm gonna desist. But how can I face?
Yes, my listeners. Welcome to another Real Stuff podcast. And this morning we have an important guest. But first, I'm gonna get my moderator hooked up, and then we can proceed. So in the meantime, sit back, relax with your favorite drink, whatever you're doing in the morning. We thank you for taking time out of your schedule, whether it's busy or not. But we just thank you for taking time out and for being here with us this morning. So sit back and relax and listen to some nice music. Right now you're hearing in the background the music of Tafina, Take Away Yourself.
Through the door, take away ourselves.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Flavius, come in.
Woman, sit upon the throne of glory. About Tarragon, tell you a true story. That might the mythical knights and Davon Silver.
Wish you the best and filled with happiness.
On a mercy,
with love, yeah.
Yes, indeed. This one is the song from Daddy Mike back in the days. Go by the name now of Tsunami. And this one is titled From Sir with Love.
Make me taste to surrender. Angel Lord, you're especially saint, yeah. Wish you the best and filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. Your kisses and hugs, yeah.
The woman forget to pamper. She forget pet the woman. Now watch no step, she delicate woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, don't let me tell you vital part and be biology. If she never open and let them baby would be. When she wanna proud sitting on me history. To the throne and know that could never be who you think nurture, pamper and care for me. To the long arc series of maternity, none of the woman forget pamper. She forget the woman. Now watch those steps, she delicate a woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, darling.
You're moving graciously. The love you give me is so stress-free.
Oh,
yeah. You are a source of strength, Miss Magnificent, positive thinker.
Woman of the master race.
Oh, my Madonna, modern day masterpiece. So, wish you the best life filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah.
Then when you are going with your girl chat, you mad, couldn't be referring now to me Princess Black. Well, if you not come out of the poopy back, that might cause if negativity, you would hold it back. Cause there's no other like the female gender. No amount of sex change can replace your mother. You might tend to differ as you go older, but the breast was best and still is me brother. The woman forget pamper, she forget pet the woman. Now watch no step, she delicate a woman. Figure tight and respect one. Mother, sister, done it. Coulda never come disrespect my queen, you know. No, you better come clean. Silver, come bounce it so.
Wish you the best life filled with happiness. From Sir with love. Yeah. Before you can go out, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs. Yeah. Wish you the best life filled with happiness.
Yes, indeed, my listeners. Let's bring in Flavius. Flavius, can you hear me?
Sure, I'm hearing you. Good morning. Good morning, Franco.
You hearing me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
All right, let's get George, Earl. I mean, old George, and then we can proceed.
Old George. Yeah.
Old George. In the meantime, my listeners, yes, you're in the right spot today, and you're listening to the Real Stuff podcast. So let's call George and get the thing going. Dialing up. Okay, so today's show we're going to be talking. Hello, good morning, George.
Hey, good morning.
This is Franco and Flavius.
Hi, old George. What's up?
Hey, my brother Flavius. Long time.
Yeah, man. Yes.
It has been a very long time.
And it's really nice having you with us this morning.
Well, I would rather be in no other place.
Wonderful.
Yes. So, I heard you guys. Well, when you said that you want to talk to me, I said let me make myself available. There's not much I can do. I'm still in lockdown.
Yes.
I suppose you are too.
So, Franco.
Yes, go ahead.
Are we live now?
We're live. We've been live.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, good morning, listeners. This is our third edition of the Real Stuff podcast. And as the name implies, we are just about the real stuff. And this morning our guest is somebody who is definitely the real stuff. Definitely.
I like that.
Okay,
like
on the first morning, we had a general topic about the coronavirus, and we had Tsunami as our first guest. And yesterday we kind of changed it a little bit. We still was about the coronavirus, but we were looking at the impact on the indigenous peoples of the world. And we had Professor Greaves and the colonel from Charlestown, a Maroon community in Jamaica, that gave us some really good insight in what we should be doing now, especially in lockdown. Now, bring us to the third morning where we're not going to spend a lot of time necessarily on the coronavirus itself because we don't know much about it. I don't know if anybody knows much about it. But we have a gentleman here with us this morning who whole being is about self-determination, belief in self to the greatest of heights. And I think this is a trait that all of us need to get through what is happening with the coronavirus as it relates to our lockdown.
Definitely.
Staying at home. You're staying, some of us are, after we spending 24/7s with partners that we've been running away from, going to work, boys, and whatever. So we need a strong a strong mentality, a strong self-belief.
True, 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 true.
Let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Daniel Ole George. He is called, fortunately, in his hometown in the beautiful many island states of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful places in the world, and I can attest to that.
You want to say it again?
Oh yeah, I will say it many times.
But you know, let me stop. Let me just interject. You know.
No, we're not better than Yard.
Before you go on, yeah, when I went to Jamaica, I look exactly like Jamaica, but only smaller.
Oh yes, definitely, yes.
Exactly like Jamaica, only smaller. So
Yeah,
you continue.
But yes, I met George in St. Vincent with a event that we had down there, and he was performing as opening a show for us with Pamela, Roddy Thomas, and Gina Ray Forrest.
That was a long time. Wow, I remember that.
Very long time. And then we came together when I was in St. Vincent again, and he was doing a walk for AIDS awareness, walking 3 days and 3 nights.
Yes,
I would feel this man is the Iron Man of Iron Men.
Wow.
I don't know how he does it, and I'm able to get that out of him, you know. But
When they're busy, George.
yes, I'm not been able to get it out of him. But we decided to do a similar walk in Jamaica.
Yes.
That was interrupted before we started by Hurricane Ivan. Anyway, shortly after, we decided to do it again, you know, in Jamaica. And Ole George came to Jamaica, and he said he's going to walk for 7 days and 7 nights. But he did it, and I would say, well, I must also commend the Star, which is the sister paper to the Jamaica Gleaner, because they were covering us before we started, during the walk, and at the end of the walk.
Yeah, that was true.
They covered us completely. But not surprisingly, but with their tails behind them, the rest of the media after the third day, the rest of the came every day. Every day they were there. TV, print, radio, everybody was there because this was breaking new ground in the world. This was not something that people could think would happen.
Yeah,
So,
yes.
I am growing on a bit, but I have to tell you this. This is because it leads into what we're going to talk about today. At the same time the walk was starting, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines football team was in Jamaica to play a friendly with the Jamaica national team.
Yes, I remember that.
No, to my knowledge, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has never beaten Jamaica in football.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, we went to the players' hotel, and the coach asked Ole George to speak to the players, which he did. Of course, I was allowed in the room because I know I'm Jamaican. Anyway, that night at the National Stadium, St. Vincent and the Grenadines beat Jamaica.
Yep.
For the first time.
I don't think it has ever happened since.
No.
That is the power of this man. In fact, I'll go as far as say this. In my experience and my travel, this man is the most popular person in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The temperature.
I don't know who would want to go to a place like that where, I mean, snow is on the ground all year.
Yeah, and the average temperature, like between November and March, the average temperature will be like minus 40 or 50 Celsius. That's on a regular day. Yeah, and I mean, I always ask, what are you doing in a place like this? I mean, and trees cannot go there because it's above the tree line. So you don't see trees. It's too cold and it's so hard for trees to go there. So there's no trees.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, just rocks and snow. And if you're a fan of National Geographic, that's the place for you to be. You're seeing rocks and snow and polar bears and wolves and foxes, and that's a view basically every day. So I've been there now. I've spent 11 years there.
Wow.
So it's really, really, really cold. I mean, that's to put an understatement. To tell you how cold it is, Flavius, I put an ice tray. The regular ice tray you put in the freezer.
Yes.
I put an ice tray on my step one night, and in less than 5 minutes, it was frozen. Everything was frozen. That's to explain how cold it is. I can't really tell you, to get you to imagine that degree of frigidity. But it was really, really something to stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's isolation because there's a small village of 700 people, and there's no roads to get there. So just one small plane would fly you in, and many days there's no plane because there's always blizzard. So you're isolated from the community, from the rest of the world.
Okay. So you know a lot about lockdown. So
exactly. I know about isolation. I know to keep yourself sane, keep yourself busy, keep yourself productive.
That is what the world is faced with now.
Yes,
I talked to my last night, and he said, talk to my wife. Ask her when the last time she left the house. And this lady is saying to me, I have not left my house in 1 month.
Mm.
And these are people who used to be going out every day.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, people call me and they're actually worried about me because I'm always on the road. I find reasons to go on the road when I'm in Montreal. I'm in Montreal right now, so I find reasons to be on the road. So they call me out of concern. George, how are you making it?
Yeah, in some places, them keeping you away, them locking you down now, say you need to stay home now. That's the name of the game.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's me.
To continue from what we did yesterday, really indigenous people, if you can start us off by telling us something about those indigenous people and challenges and, and the whole lockdown, the whole permanent isolation thing that is happening, that happens there by naturally.
Okay, well, these are the Inuit people. When you're in school in the Caribbean, they will teach you a history about the Eskimos. Learn about the Eskimos. You have history books tell you about the Eskimos that live in the Arctic region, who have to do ice fishing, digging on the ice to fish and all that, and living in igloos and all that. Those are the Eskimos. Well, that's where I am. But they're not called the Eskimos. When I first went there, I called them Eskimo. They corrected me and told me the word Eskimos is a derogatory name given to them by a white man. Yes, I given to them by the white man. The Inuit, right? Eskimo is a name for like raw eating meat people. Raw eating meat. Raw meat. So they live as if you are called a nigger or someone is called a coolie. It's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So one guy pulled me aside and gave me my first lecture in good faith. Boy, that was an eye opener. So I said, "But kids in the Caribbean right now are still learning that you are Eskimos."
That's what I'm saying, George. So all these years we've been calling them Eskimo.
Right. So firsthand, I was schooled firsthand that is a derogatory word and should never be called.
Okay.
So there's a lot of things about our history that we need to correct. It's his story. You need to look at what the real story is, and get your own story. So that's just by the way. So these are the Inuit people, and they live in northern Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
So almost to the end of Quebec. Quebec is the largest province in Canada. Huge. So I'm closer where I worked. I was closer to Greenland than to Montreal, so I would take a 737 jet and go halfway, and then take a smaller plane and go the rest of the way, and a small plane to go to the little village where I worked of 700 people. It's a village called Akulivik, Akulivik, Akulivik.
But Ole George, Greenland is one of the coldest places in the world.
Oh, you should try Akulivik.
even colder than Iceland. Yeah,
you should try Akulivik. Just try imagine what minus 65 is like.
Wow.
Celsius.
No, I have experienced minus 40.
Okay, at when it was minus 50, I did an experiment. I took a boiling cup of boiling water, a huge mug of boiling water, came outside and threw it up in the air, and just turned snow and blew away. That's how cold it was, right?
Wow.
Try that in Jamaica. So it's really cool, and every day is like that. It starts snowing sometimes the end of August or the beginning of September, and it doesn't stop snowing until the ice freezes off the river and the sea around the first week in July. Ooh. Right. So between July and August, you get ease from the snow, but it's still cold. It is still cold. So the sea is frozen, the rivers are frozen, everything is frozen, rock solid. So you get to walk on water for for the first time in your life. You can walk miles on the sea. So the people live by mainly fishing, hunting is the main is the main thing. Hunt polar bears and wolves and anything that moves. They hunt. Seals and belugas, different type of whale. And they live in small communities, and one of the biggest problems there is they have a lot of social issues here, social problems. Which one of the main things which will affect this COVID-19 thing is overcrowding. You see, so you find in a 2-bedroom house, maybe 10, 12, 13 people living in a 2-bedroom house.
That's
You
a lot
see?
of people, man.
Yeah. So overcrowding is a big issue. So
Well,
can you imagine?
they cannot social distance at all.
Well, that's a challenge. That's a challenge. How do you get someone to social distance themselves? Now, in 2 communities, I understand that the virus has finally shown up in one of the bigger community. It's a bigger village, and it has about 1,000, maybe 1,700 people. And then I understood last week they have 5 cases so far. 5 cases there, and 5 cases in that community is a lot. So they're doing the best to see if they can confine that, to deal with that. But hopefully there's never any, if there ever is a community spread, then you have a real issue on your hands. So I'm not sure how we're gonna. It's a big challenge to deal with that because it's not normal. It's not business usual like in the largest cities of Canada where you have all these access to medical equipment and all of that. So. But all flights are postponed, suspended between that community and Montreal, so you can't travel back and forth. Everything is on the lockdown for right now. So whoever is there has to stay there, and who's not there, will not go there.
Ole George, so before you left, was there any corona there?
No.
Okay.
There was nothing.
So that's
I think that those cases went there maybe in the last 3 weeks, around there. It could be around 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
That time frame, give or take a week. That's when those cases showed up.
All right.
Yeah. So there's one case in another community furthest to the north, the last community village. There's one case, but that case I heard had recovered.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know because there's not much testing going on. So the whole idea is to do a lot more testing because we know so little about the virus, and the more you test, the better you're able to understand what your status is in terms of infection and so on.
All right.
Yeah, but it's a challenge to live there without the virus, much less to the virus. I mean, it's going to be really, really, really challenging. And then to move around in that temperature. And people have a way of visiting each other's homes, like as in the past, as we used to do in the Caribbean, walking into each other's houses, nobody locked their doors. It's a cultural thing to visit.
What's the medical facilities there like?
Well, there's about maybe 12 or 13 villages in Nunavik inhabited. Okay, I'm talking about the region of Nunavik, Nunavik. Right. So there's one hospital in the biggest village, right? One hospital, and the other villages have clinics. We call them CLSCs, right? Smaller clinics that are mostly which are more self-contained. So in a clinic, you'll have like on the same roof, we'll have social services, youth protection services, dental services, nursing station. One bed. Emergency room and that kind of thing, right? But the doctors and the dentists and the specialists would fly in there like once every 2 weeks and see to their patients and leave, right? They're not living there, they're not residents. They just they go and come, right? So that clinic would have to handle everything that happens in that village. And if the case is too big to handle, then they fly them out to the bigger village hospital. And if it's too big for them to handle, then they fly them to Montreal.
Wow.
So it's a real challenge to be there because one of the biggest fears that I had living there is getting sick.
Exactly.
Sick enough to be flown out, and there's no plane because there's always blizzards. Sometimes I watched a guy almost lost his leg due to bleeding, excessive bleeding, because the plane couldn't come to medevac him to get help. So it is a blizzard, nothing can land, and if you have need to get out,
how frequently does transportation go back and forth?
Say it again.
How frequently does transportation goes back and forth?
No, on a normal day there's just one plane leaving every day.
Okay.
Yeah, one plane leaving every day to go to Montreal, so that plane would stop in the other villages on its way to Montreal. So if the weather is bad, whether it's fog or snow or blizzard or whatever, that plane will not come.
I see.
One time I tried to get out. It took me 7 days before I get a plane out. I'm trying to get out because of bad weather. You see, so the weather is always a factor, an unknown factor.
That's what we
And
call
it changes every hour.
Timbuktu.
Yeah, it changes every hour. So it's a lot of stress, to just be there and not knowing. You see, and that's what happened with the coronavirus now. The biggest stress is people not knowing what is happening. And when you don't know, your anxiety level rises tremendously.
Definitely.
You see? So people have to how I'm coping. When you don't know, what you do is focus on what you know. And try and normalize your environment. Do what you know. So I'm in my house. So my house is like a factory. I find different things to do. So I move from. So one day I will do culinary skills. I go in the kitchen and try new recipes or cook favorite recipes. So that's my whole day right there. I get my son involved. Dealing with showing him how to. He's 13, showing him how to cook, how to bake. That's occupational therapy.
Let me ask you a question there, George. But apart from fishing and hunting, right? That's the main source of food?
Main source.
No stores there?
Main source. There's two little stores there. Everything store. Once everything stored, it's still everything, right? It is not, you don't have special shops, like one that sells shoes and one that sells pants. So there's a co-op, a community store that sells everything.
Okay.
Right? So that has open hours. It opens at 10 in the morning and it closes at 4, sometimes 5, sometimes 6, depending on what day it is. On Saturday, it closes at 3 and it opens back on Monday. So nothing opens on Sunday, nothing opens in the night. No, nothing. There's no movie houses, there's no gyms, there's nothing. Just one shop, one workplace, and your house. That's it.
Wow.
So after work, you go home. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. You leave from home, you go to the grocery, you pick up the grocery, and you go home, and that's it.
Wow,
so that's what they call that's basically what doing a self quarantine. They allow you to go into shop.
Absolutely.
So I've been doing it for 11 years. So right now this is normal for me, but I can appreciate it's not for a lot of people because when I just went there, it was hard to get used to it. So I use my experience, back in the early days, getting used to it, so I can understand and talk to people who are now at that point, not being able to get used to it and thinking it's the end of the world. They can't possibly survive this. Yes, you can survive it. You just have to reset your mind. It just change your mindset, to what you used to know. You take out the survive by using the old chip. That's where the confusion comes in. You have to change the chip. You cannot leave the old chip in and expect to function normally. You will have interference. You'll have contradictions, confusion. You see, forget about what happened before the virus. That's past. That is gone. What happens now is what we have to deal with. What's happening now? How can you survive this? How can you stay safe? What should you do to stay safe? And all things will end. But until it does, you have to continue living. So you normalize the abnormal.
Yeah.
You see, and to get used to the uncertainty, you do what you know is certain. You focus on the certainties, and that will distract you from the uncertainties. You see, so there are a lot of stuff that you can do in the house, on yourself, to yourself, and a lot of things that you can do that will keep you so busy. You don't even realize that you're still inside the house.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Well, Ole George, you probably need to, go a little deeper in that because I think that's one of the most important thing right now.
Yes,
is to help people to cope with not working, staying at home, don't know what to do, watching the same television shows over and over again. What to do with the kids. how to keep the kids' mind focused. You know,
See,
I think we have a major fallout and a mental part of this whole virus.
see,
I think
now, now what this does is gives a chance to do some serious self introspection, right? All the
yes.
things that we were told to do, and we have ignored because one, we were too busy, two, because we didn't care, three, because we thought it was not important. We just disregarded them and went about doing our own things selfishly. So now it's time to shut your shop, sit down, and remember, reflect on the things that we were told to do by the social workers, by the health, by the doctors, by the nurses, by your grandmothers, by all the advice you were giving us on how to live a healthy life, not just eating, but socially. In other words, now it's time to reflect on these frame by frame. Slow the whole thing down. You see, like when you play cricket and they have what do you call it, a review, a cricket review, and they slow everything down frame by frame by frame by frame to get at the conclusion. Do the same thing with your life, frame by frame by frame. Slow it down, right? Slow it down. See the areas that you've been lacking. One, you never talk to your children. You always talk at them. You always shout at them. Slow it down. Hey, maybe you need to talk to them and with them.
With them,
right?
yes.
You see? So now you will know. So my work today or this week is to develop a good relationship with my children, that they can know I can talk to them and they can talk with me back and forth. So I reflect about the old nonsense stories. I was told by my grandmother. I would tell them, "Daddy, what's that?" You tell them some old time stories. You turn leg off in the room and you start cleaning dark and so on and having fun. A lot of things that you used to do in the past that used to work. Going back to the basics. Yeah. Right. Mind you, the TV is not even in the picture yet. Mm-hmm. You see, because you have to make it so entertaining. You will become sometimes the house clown. You see, but your clowning has a point to it. It has a reason. There's a hook to it. So all the things that you do comically, you're actually teaching vital lessons to the children. You see, so we need to focus on it because the children are the one who suffers most, because a lot of times they can't understand what's happening. And their routine, they can't adjust suddenly to a sudden abrupt stoppage in their routine. So you have to help them through that, distract them. Kids can be easily distracted, but you have to lead the way and be the master distractor. But this is done now in a positive way. You see, when they go to school, because they're not learning, because they're easily distracted by the negatives. So you have to use that distraction, which is now positive distraction, to get your point across. So focus on them. Now there's your spouse. You've been so used to see your spouse going out to work, both of you, leaving at 8, come back at 4, leave at 9, come back at 5, sometimes come at 12-hour shifts and so on. So it's easy to get used to that, because when they're gone, you have your own space. Right? So now both of you are in the same space. Nobody's going anywhere.
Yeah, man.
You see, and then you realize that you have been surviving for the last 10 years, not really living, even just coping. So now you have to go back to the time when you made that initial vow, to love and cherish. So now you start pay attention, slow the frame down. Cherish. How can I cherish my spouse? What can I do to cherish her now that she's home, to show her that she's been cherished? That's your homework right there. So you start working on cherishing her, and the more you cherish her, it will taper down. That all that stuff that she's getting from you, she'll pass it on to the kids. Then they start discovering, Mom is nice this week. How come she's not shouting at me this week? It filters down. You understand? It filters down. You see? So all of us, and starting from the leader, whoever the leader think they are, the man, the woman, they vary from household to household. The leader has got to start leading from the front, right? And as you lead in a certain direction, things will filter down, and it will ease tension in the home. So you're not working, but you're working inside the house. You don't have, the difference is you don't have paid labor. You see, and the way we look at work need to change, because the most work I find is in the house. that you can never do. Right? So you are working, you are employed, but you get paid. But what is the payment that you get in? Gratification, your kids start hugging you, your wife start loving you. That's payment. That's invaluable payment. That's priceless. You see? So the more so walk in the house, you start fixing this thing that's long overdue. The wife is so happy if you finally fix the hole in the ceiling. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy you're home because you are. So you start expressing the more you do, the more happy she is that you're home. You understand? It easing her pressure. And she's happy, the children are happy, everybody's happy. You see? So find things to do around the house that has been neglected for years. And before you know it, 2 weeks to pass and you haven't even thought of going outside. But then you start thinking about outside. Why do I go outside? If you have a yard, go outside in the yard for a couple hours, a couple of whatever in your own yard. Get some sunlight, some vitamin D. That's very important. Pay attention to your diet. So your kids are home. It's important what you feed them. Be knowledgeable about what you're feeding them because you're doing less activity physically, so their metabolism, will slow down a bit. So you have to be careful as to what you feed them, how often they eat, and you have to regulate that. So I set up a kind of program in my house. If you eat every hour, this is what's going to happen to you. Some positive, a positive consequence. If you eat every hour, if you catch you eating between meals, this is what's going to happen to you. You have less PS4 time. So you do little things. So buy little fruits. The favorite fruits that I know my son loves, I buy all his favorite fruits. I'll feed them to him at increments. You see, at different times. Make sure. So these are things you have to pay attention to health, pay attention to everything at the same time, and it's kind of stressful. But if you find a fun way to do it, you will discover the time will go so quickly. You would even want to leave home when this whole thing is done.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I think these are very wonderful advice, Ole George. But you can go ahead and you can probably inject some specifics, because I know that people are bored now. In fact, a lot of people are at home now just feeling sorry for themselves, just crying to themselves. They're not proactive, they're not saying like what you're saying now. Say, boy, oh, I'm home now, so let me fix up this, let me get this done, let me, and then they're not saying, they're not keeping their eyes to post-COVID. They're not looking and say, well, this thing will pass.
Right.
Where will we see when it passes? How can we pick up? Or do we what we had?
The question is, why am I crying for myself? Because I'm depressed. I don't know what's going to happen. I think this is the end of the world. Everything is finished. I'll never be able to have fun again. And so I start feeling sorry for myself. Right? So once you start feeding your mind with these negatives, eventually it's going to overwhelm you. It's going to take you over. It's going to consume you. Right?
Yes.
And the more you pack into that space, there'll be little space for anything positive. You see? So what you have to do is take a look at yourself, and tell yourself, what can I, what things can I do? What are the positives in my life right now? What are the positives that I can derive from being home? Is it a good thing to be home, to be close to children, to get to know your children, to see them grow? Because you've been away 8 hours a day, 15 hours a day for the last 5 years, you have never really seen them grow. So it'd be a good thing that you can finally watch them grow and see what all their bad habits are and their good habits are, so you can teach them better. You can correct them, more appropriately. Get to know them to get to, is that a good thing? So look at all the good things that can happen while you're home. The fact that you're home. And the more you focus on those good things, you see, one bank, the way that they got to spot the counterfeit dollar was not to spend time studying the counterfeit dollar. They spend time studying the good dollar. You see? So they're so used to seeing the authentic currency. When the bad one shows up, they spot it easily.
Yes.
You see, so spend time. So if you used to eating a good ackee and saltfish, the best in the world, you will know when someone prepares one that is not good. For the minute you taste it. Yeah, so you spend time eating the good things, so the funny bad thing pops up, you know it right away. You see? So you don't spend time trying to prepare bad acting surface. No. So you spend time focusing on the good things. You see? And when you find more reasons to focus on good things than bad, then your space inside of you, that bag of space, it is getting filled with good things only. Let me tell you something. The night is long, Flavius. The night can be long. And I can tell you about long nights. Right? Long nights. When I walked at Emancipation Park, there was a day, it was about 36 degrees Celsius. And the asphalt was like it's melting under my feet, Flavius. The sun was excruciating. It was about the fifth day of the walk. But the 50th row, it was so hot. I thought, no, this is it. I will never get through this. Never get through this. Never get through this. Right? And I said, but I got to walk for 7 days. And if I stop now, I'll be a failure to myself. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. You know how I got through it? I said, today is the 5th day. But if I keep walking, the 6th day will come.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It has to come.
Mental strength.
But my job has to keep, if I want to keep moving, the 6th day will come. And I believe that. You see, Flavius, I'll give you an example how to use your mind.
Yeah, that's mental strength right there.
If you're a joiner or carpenter, you're in a workshop, and you have an electric saw cutting a piece of wood, and it accidentally cut your one of the fingers off completely, and it's on the floor jumping. What thoughts will cross into your mind? What kind of thoughts will run to your mind when you see your finger on the drum and you're bleeding like crazy? All kind of crazy. My God, I'm not gonna bleed to death. It's haywire. You go into panic. This is the end of your work. If you don't get help right away, you can bleed to death.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's a reality, right? That's a fact. But as you look across the street, you see a house on fire, Flavius, and someone told you your 5-year-old son is in that house. What you gonna do?
Going to try save him. If I try save
You're
him.
gonna save the house. You're gonna save your son.
Yep.
Because why? Your mind told you that is more important right now. So forget this. This is secondary. You can always get back to this. And because you believe what your mind said, the operative word is believe. You believe what your mind said and you acted on it. You went in the house, saved your son, had enough time to come and get the finger, go to the hospital, everything was okay. So when I was a little boy, I reflected when my mom sent me to the shop. Right, going to the shop, man, it was like running the hurdles. I think the hurdles were invented in the Caribbean, but a lot of people don't know that. The hurdle race, because on the way to the shop, you had these 4 dogs always chase me, 4 dogs, right? And to get rid of them, I had to jump over a drum, oil drum, a fence, a little river, right, before I get to the shop. That's hurdles, right? And I had to clear all of them. One time I cleared a fence, way taller than me. The fence was about 3 or 4 feet. I can't remember how tall it was, but it was way over my height. I cleared that fence with ease. The next day I went back, I said, wait, I jumped over that fence? And I tried that day to jump over, and I couldn't go over the fence the next day. Because there was no dog. Because when the dog was chasing me, the dog is said to me, my mind said, if you don't go over the fence, you're dead.
Of course.
And I believe my mind. I believe what I was told. I believe that. First, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in us. You see, you can talk. But if you don't believe, you have to act on that belief. That's what going to get you, because anything unattempted remains impossible. Anything unattempted remains impossible. Anything. So your night is long now. It's long to do quarantine, to be locked inside. But this will pass. But in the meantime, you have to keep living and prepare yourself for when it's past. You will be ready to continue working. You'll be physically fit. You'll be mentally strong to fit right back in, because life will have to continue.
But something just came to me back to the Emancipation Park thing, as you brought it back up. And you were saying you like on the 6th day, on the 5th day, it was very hard and all that.
Yeah.
But I think that part of what allowed you to do what you did, not only in Emancipation Park, but even in St. Vincent and other places that you have done these things, was your ability to accept help, from everybody. Because Emancipation Park, the morning walkers came in, the midday walkers came in, the evening walkers came in, and other walkers came in just to walk with you and talk with you.
That's a mighty point. A lot of people cannot accept help.
Yes.
And some others do not recognize when they're being offered help.
Yes.
That's a key part, eh? They don't realize that they've been offered help. When I see those walkers come in the morning and walking, boy, I embrace all of them. They don't know how much I embrace them, right? To the point, one guy made me laugh. After three, this guy was walking every day. He come in the morning, he came in the evening. I did not know who he was. I didn't even recognize him, right? Or take notice of him. But he was coming every day to walk. But he was watching me. So after this, but it saw the guy stop in front of the tracks, just stop in front of me, and start shouting at me. But he wasn't really shouting in anger. It was just in amazement, like in confusion.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he says, "You don't go home? You don't live nowhere?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You don't go home, you don't live nowhere." He said, "Every day you come in, same shit you have on, same patch you have on. You walking. Where you live?" And the guy was concerned, eh? But he began to help me because I was able to laugh. So I said, as I walked with him, I explained to him, I'm walking around the park for 6 days, 7 days. He said, "Jesus, Lord." You understand? And he put his hand on the head and he just keep walking. You know, and the next day he came back, he said, How about they now? I said, "Good luck, man. God bless you." But he got I think his life was changed forever because he didn't say anything, but his face, his expression on his face told me, you know. And famous, I must talk about the guy, Marlon. I can't remember his last name. No, I was wondering about him.
Oh, yeah, you know, I remember. Yeah.
Who changed his life because of that? You know, because of the walk from his gangster living and all that.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Complete turnabout because he said he was one on the first day. I don't know if I should go into it, but I'll take your leading that. Yeah, but it was a very wonderful story, you know, as to how people can change their mindset. You know, but
we're not naming any names or anything, so we can, you know.
Yeah.
So you were a source of inspiration then.
Yeah, this guy. On the first day, he said to my camera person, that was Gina Ray. Gina Ray. She was the official photographer, and he asked her. He said, "What is guy doing? What's this guy doing?" And she explained to him he's walking around the park for 7 days. And he said, "Man, he's a fake, man. He's a fake." This was the conversation that I was told after I used to say to her that he's fake. You know, he's just faking this. You know, nobody can do that and so on. And he has some other agenda. So Gina said to him, "Go and walk with him just one lap around the park and find from him what he's doing."
Yeah, I remember the event. Yeah, I remember that completely.
Yes. And so he came and he started walking. He had a bandana tied around his head and he started throwing curse words and so on and saying, "Well, you didn't go home and what are you doing, man? You're fake." And he said, so I smiled. I said, "Come on, let's walk." I said, "No, I'm not fake. This is what I'm doing." After one lap, he walked another lap, 2 laps, 3 laps. After he walked 10 laps, he said, "Wait, I just walked 10 laps, you know." I said, "Yeah, I know." But he went to Gina and said, "Gina, man, this man confused me, man. The man in my head, man. The man confused me, man. The man tied my head." Right? Because his mind started getting open. So he came back and walked with me for like 3 hours after that. Then he said to me he never achieved anything in his life and he would like to be able to walk for 24 hours straight. I want if you can do that. So I said, yes, man, yes, you can do it, man. You can do it. Just believe in yourself. I said, come walk with me. So we walked and walked and walked, and he walked for 24 hours straight.
Wow.
He walked for 24 hours straight, and then he said, my God, he said it's the first thing in his life he's ever achieved, first goal he has ever set and achieved. And after that, he came back and walked me day after day, some for increments. But when we had the closing ceremony at the Pegasus, he was the one who came forward and spoke.
Yes, I remember.
He came forward and spoke. I wasn't expecting that, and how much this whole thing changed his life. You know, it changed his entire life, and he's now. And the last thing I got from him is that he went. He got a job. He started working. You know, he left his gangster ways and started working and all that. Complete change, because he said if this guy can come and do something like this, you know, and help him, you know, to understand and believe in himself. It was a complete change. A lot of lives were changed because people start this belief in yourself. You know that you can do things that were not that he thought was not possible before. You know, so in this critical period now, that's the same kind of belief and mindset that you have to have. You know, it will pass. It will pass, and you can get through it.
Yeah, because I know the platform. I mean, you're walking there for what you believe or what you want to achieve.
Yes.
You're not being paid. It's not sanctioned by anybody.
No.
You know, and I was also saying to Franco, if you look and see, the event got a full page, front page of the Jamaica Star.
Of the Jamaica Star, yeah.
And that is not an easy feat.
Yeah, it was.
On the front, that takes a lot of doing. And I can tell you, as a person in charge of the whole planning and all that, we did not pay anybody. All we did was invite them to come.
Yeah. No, I would say no money was passed.
No money was passed. The reporter was there the day, and she was so elated to be doing this thing.
I remember her name. Her name was Sasha Walters.
Yes, right.
Yeah, very good reporter. Yeah.
For her, for her to go to her bosses and say, put this on the front page. That was a serious coup, you know. That was a serious coup.
They said the police commissioner, I think it was the police commissioner, and the last day he was telling a little boy, I don't know if it was his son or grandson, he was telling, I heard him telling a little boy, his boy appeared about 9, 10, 11. He said, you better take note of what you see here today, because you will never see it again in your lifetime. Never again in your lifetime. You know, a man walking for 7 days nonstop. But I went on from that to walk in New York for 8 days.
Yes, I know.
For 8 days, and I went on to walk from Montreal to New York.
But Flavius,
from Montreal to Brooklyn.
Anyone ever tried in Jamaica after what George did? Anyone ever tried to attempt to see if they could break it?
Not that I know of. No, I've never heard about it, and nobody had contacted me either.
Okay.
Yeah, but then so I moved from not moved from it, but I also started to do the dancing as well. You know, and that's another. I did dance for suicide prevention up in the north, in Nunavik.
What kind of dancing? What type of dancing?
Regular dance. I danced to reggae, calypso, soca, different genres of music.
Wow.
I danced in 2012. You can Google this on the internet. If you Google Ole George dancing in Nunavik, you'll see there. I danced for 5.5 days nonstop.
What?
That's online. You can Google it. Go to Ole George dancing, OLE George dancing in Nunavik.
So are all these events that you did, are they recorded in the Guinness Book of Record?
So this dance was it unofficially broke the Guinness Book of Records.
Okay.
It was not recorded because they have a little of one piece of information that they say they did not receive. But you know, these people always find excuses to not to record something.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went back to St. Vincent. I think it was 2018, 17. I tried to dance for 7 days non-stop. But I had a mishap. I fell from the stage and almost broke my neck.
Wow.
So I had to abandon that. But it's my hope to break the record officially and dance for for at least past 5.5, past 6 days. And but that's in Flavius hand to determine which the venue for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 7-day walk did break the Guinness Book of Records, you know.
Oh, really?
Yes, man, yes.
And,
Yes.
and the,
Yeah.
some name excuse.
Yeah. And
It take it by far because when I was looking at the venue, I decided to use Emancipation Park because it was so perfect that there could not be any controversy because of where it was and how open it was. And anybody could come, anybody could see. The press was there every day. You know, it was totally recorded.
Okay.
Yeah.
He couldn't sneak away somewhere because Emancipation Park would be empty. You know?
It was never empty. Yeah. It was never empty.
And what I remember about that, which was very, very nice, is that after a while, after a few days, a lot of kids keep coming.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I remember those kids. Yeah.
Kids.
I was able to talk to them and so on as I walk with them.
With Ole George.
Yeah, I wish I could have stayed there a little longer to inspire a lot of groups, people, young people, older people, athletics, people in athletic sports, as the mindset, because a lot of games are lost because of the mindset. The people would win home games and lose away games to teams that they can beat. Because when they're playing at home, or some would lose home games because of the pressure of playing at home. It's all boiled down to the mindset, and that's why I love to opportunity to talk with these people, to get to them to put a mindset that to know that this is what they can accomplish. When I spoke to the Simpson soccer team, I mean, when I spoke, I saw like the light bulbs went off. Bing, 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 bing. They finally got to say, there's no way that you guys can lose this game today.
I've never asked before, but I'm asking now, what did you say to them?
That's in chapter 3 in the book that I'm writing.
Did you say just do like Ole George?
No. Right. My methods are very unorthodox, right? And so are my words. It's sometimes you have to break things down in a way that can be easily understood. A concept must be explained simply and effectively. Big words, no fancy words. Because I formed a walking team, a walking club in Simpson at the school I was stationed at. And it was the worst school in the whole country. They never achieved anything in their whole life positive, right? So, and I formed a walking race, walk contest in all the secondary schools in the country. 23 schools took part, right? And they had major prizes. They're talking my first prize to get like money and fridge and stove and mega prizes, right? So I took my bunch of academic riffraffs, so they were called. And I said, we have to win this thing. He says, so how can we win this? We don't, that move when I took those rejects and so on. And I said, look, man, you guys have to win this. I'm going to train you. I said, if I'm the best in the world and I train you, it stands to reason you will have to be the best in the world as a team.
Sure.
So you put your reputation on the line. You put everything on the line, right? So that's the pressure on me now to perform. So if I'm the best coach in the world, Flavius, and I'm training you to do something, you're supposed to be the best at it.
Yep.
Of course. Agreed.
Otherwise, you have to resign. You're not the best. So I train them, and they won that thing hands down for the next 2-3 years. They all won it. They all won it. So because when they walk in, I just keep walking next to them. I said, don't forget who trained you. Don't forget to train you.
The best in the world.
Yep. Yeah, don't forget to train you.
So what you have planned now, George? What's the next thing on the agenda?
Oh, there's always a plan, man. But I was have gone to do a walk in Africa in December. I was invited to do a walk in Ghana, but that is that's off the chart right now because of this what's happening. So my next and next year I was planning on walking across Canada, but plans have to be pushed back because of the COVID-19 thing. So I was talking to Flavius. I told him I would like to do. I would drop everything and like to do that dance again.
You could do it on the internet. Stay at home and dance.
No. Well, when COVID is finished and everything is back to normal, I am thinking seriously about doing it in Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Once everything is finished, all this COVID-19 thing is in the past. If things return to some sense of normalcy, then we're doing that in Jamaica. And right now, I'm at home writing. I'm writing 3 books at the same time.
Okay.
Right now, so and so and one of them is my autobiography.
For the dancing.
Everything.
For the dancing, do you have other participants in the dancing?
No. It's just me.
Oh, just you alone. Okay.
Yeah, because nobody will allow to touch me while I'm dancing, because that will look upon and having support, physical support. But people can be in the room and so on and dancing.
Okay.
But the area in which I'm dancing is cordoned off.
All right.
So you can have like a 5 or 6 day dance festival continuously. So that is something to look forward to. So we have one. We now have a lot of motivational talks lined up, but they have to be postponed due to the COVID-19.
Okay. So Flavius is not there. So the books, you say you're writing some books. It seems to have lost George and Flavius. So in the meantime, I'm going to play a song from Tsunami and this one from Sir with Love. And then I'm going to get back my callers and we can finish up before, wrapping up.
Woman, sit upon the throne of glory. About Tarragon, tell you a true story. That might the mythical knights and Davon Silver.
Wish you the best and filled with happiness.
On a mercy,
with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah. And every fest was warm, like a tree seed.
What a man say?
And the rivers of love you were plant, yeah. Your promise will make me taste to surrender. Angel Lord, you're especially saint, yeah. Wish you the best and filled with happiness. From Sir with love, yeah. This for your queen, go on, fulfill your dreams. More kisses and hugs, yeah.
The woman forget to pamper. She forget pet the woman. No watch no step, she delicate woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, don't let me tell you vital part and be biology. If she never open and let them baby would be. Which one a proud city now me history. To the children know that could never be who you think nurture pamper and care for me. To the long arc series of maternity, none of the woman forget pamper. She forget the woman. Now watch those steps, she delicate a woman. Forget tights and respect one. Mother, sister, darling.
Yes, indeed. It's the Real Stuff Podcast. So we got back our callers and we're just going to finish up before we get out of here. Flavius, George, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm here.
Good.
George, what do you want to ask you?
Yes.
Especially the 7-day walk. I know that part of your survival.
Yes.
Was coming through your headset.
Yes.
And you add that on
yeah.
old
Oh
time,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Uh, and you
Yeah.
told me you told me that most of what you were listening to was of a Jamaica legend, a
Well,
lady who
actually,
walked with you many days during the
say no
war.
more, man. Say no more, man. Say no more. 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 I think, man, this is one of Jamaica's pearls, man. Pearl, right? That's Pam Hall.
Yes.
Pam Hall.
Okay.
I had music coming through my ears and my headset, right? And that's put the extra pep in my step a lot of times, especially at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just me and Pam. You know? Yeah. I mean, how many men can boast of that?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but the importance of music, you know, yeah, and not only and Pam also walk with me, man, almost every day. I think,
Yes.
yeah, man. But she could walk, boy. I'm telling you, I had to fight to keep up with her because she didn't realize that I was there for 4 days ago. You know, so
Mm.
like, she said, Pam, look, man, I was here before, man. You just show up, cool it, man. Calm down, calm down. Yeah. Yeah, but she is really an inspiration. Pam Hall is really an inspiration. I'm telling you. Yeah, and not just in music, but there's a whole persona. You know, there's an air about her that brings a calming effect to you. You know, when you talk to her, and the music is so connecting, man. It connects to you. It connects to you. You know, but that she gave me a CD. I played that CD so much until the CD refused to talk, not even sing, refused to talk anymore. Yeah, it's yeah. So I have it here as a souvenir, but it's not. There's nothing coming from it. I got a contract Pam and tell her to send him back that same CD. You know, that's probably out of circulation by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was not only Pam. There's another Jamaican artist I listened to. That was really inspirational, man. This guy is Hopeton Lewis. Hopeton things.
Yeah.
Hopeton Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. This song was so refreshing, man. Yeah, so I listened to a lot of that, you know. So those are the kind of music I listen to that would inspire me. When I was doing my dance, a lot of Bob Marley. Every time I hear certain Bob Marley songs, I remember the dance. I can feel the beat. You see, with the Bob Marley music, when I dance, so just to switch to dance a bit, it was not mostly the lyrics. It's just that beat. That beat, you can feel the beat on my foot. It was what kept me going. Just the beat.
Wow.
Doom, doom, that beat, that bass, that beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that beat.
The good hardcore reggae.
Yeah, man. It really, I don't know. It refreshes your whole being.
Yeah, man. You feel it
You
up
know,
in your
music
heart.
is really, really vital. And music is something that we should never abandon. Music, we should always embrace music. Always embrace music, especially conscious music.
On lockdown, yes.
Yeah. So that's one way of coping. You home, you lock down. You know, put on some music. You know, just get into it. Let it get into you. You see, you become one with it. And Flavius, you mentioned the other help that I got when I was walking. Another help I got when I was walking was the rain showers.
Oh yes.
You know, the rain showers. You know, when it was really hot and the rain come, I was embrace the weather.
Mother Nature.
One time there's a thunderstorm, lightning and thunder. I was walking. I felt so good. People asked, just come at the rain. I said, no, this is my friend right now. Right? I embrace. You see, so sometimes we need to embrace things that we think are negative. If you fight the sun and fight the rain, they become your enemies, and as a fight you can't win. You have to embrace the elements. You know, if you're in the sun, hot sun, find a place, a shade in the sun that you can escape to. So I walk in the sun, but I was never in the sun because my mind was someplace else. You know, my mind was all in a cool place somewhere. So you see me physically walking in the sun, but I'm not there. So I'm able to use my mind and escape from the present, go someplace where it's cool, nice and shady, you know. and I will sit there until I make after 4 or 5 hours of walking. You think I'm not doing this one. So it's to teach people how to use their mind, to channel the mind in different directions to help them survive whatever adversity is facing you at the moment. You can overcome it if you know how, and you know how to access your mind, the depths, the powers of your mind. If you know how to do that, man, you're good to go.
So you're saying to beat this lockdown thing now, or to get the most of it, it's all in your mind. You need to be proactive with your mind, using your mind to achieve what you want, what you need.
Whatever, assess where you are, assess what you want to achieve, where you want to, after this, how you want to get to this, and then make a plan, and then just in your mind, everything's in you. If you think everything is bleak and you'll never get out of this, probably you wouldn't. More likely you wouldn't. But if you just look at every day as a blessing, there's another day that's your life, another day that gives you a chance to do something, another day to give a chance to call somebody on the phone and give them some encouraging words, another day to reach out to somebody, whether on WhatsApp or whatever. There's another chance for you to be of good to humanity. If you look at it that way, you will get to it. And then after you get to it, you would have developed some good habits that you don't want to get rid of after COVID. See, habits like talking to your children, talking to each other, communicating by talking and not by shouting and by violence. Those are good habits that you can develop from being in lockdown. You suddenly become a master chef. You suddenly become things that you're a good tailor, a good seamstress, because you have time to practice. A lot of good things can come out of this. But the question is, how much do you want? How badly do you want it?
And I think you should be using the technology to stay close to your family and friends, because we are blessed with that now. So you don't normally you drive over, walk over to their house and spend some sit down time with them and all that. Since that is not on the cards now, pick up the phone, call them, talk to them, share things, accept when somebody call you, accept what they help. They are helping you by talking to you, spending time with you. Although it's not face to face, but don't stay home and mope and feel sorry for yourself. Why is this happening? It's happening to everybody.
Because there's people who depend upon you to help them. So I call my mom who's in Montreal. She's in her 80s. I call her every day. And she's alone, so we can't go to visit her. So I call her every day. So she depends upon me, upon my call to make her feel good. So I can't afford to be wimping and sorry for myself. I have work to do. Somebody else will depend upon you for their survival.
Yes.
They're waiting for that feel good call. So we should all develop a system where we make feel good calls. Make a feel good call every day. Make 2 or 3 see how many you can make in one day. Feel good calls. And how the person who say at the end of the call, boy, this call really made me feel good, Yeah. Give a feel good joke, become humorous. Give positive things, Like a judge was going to sentence a guy for 1 year in prison. And the guy say he's afraid to go to prison. But then the judge said he was there because he wanted to get away from his wife. He did something bad because he wanted to get away from his wife. So he wanted to go to jail. So judge, you know what? I'm going to sentence you back home 1 year with your wife. Rather in prison. 1 year to him that was in prison. But although he went back home with his wife there, of course they were being monitored and so on. So he had somebody going to a counselor going there once a week and all that. To make sure things are okay, and they're happy today.
Okay.
So it seems that you're running from, you should really, really stand still, turn back, and go back.
Face it.
Face it, deal with it. So now the time for you to stand still and deal with something that you've been running from. Deal with it. You have time. You have time. And don't be like the guy who tell the landlord, come pay rent and start coughing. If you can pay rent, pay rent. Don't tell the landlord you have COVID. Okay. So Flavors, I'm really so that's all I have to say at this moment, unless you have anything else to mention.
No,
But
no,
I really am thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity. Really, I'm really thankful for this opportunity, and I wish you and Franco all the best.
very happy to have you. Cause
yeah. And Flavors, before I go, one last thing in Jamaica, I was there 2006, and it's three things I never forget from that visit. Three things that really, and you think Jamaica need to hear this. The best ice cream I've ever had in my life was in Jamaica.
Wow.
Because I think you were there when he took us to Devon's house and bought me a ice cream cone, guava ice cream from Devon's house.
Yes.
Took me 2 hours to eat that. That was the best. I keep telling everybody I go, Jamaica has the best ice cream in the world, Devon's house. 2006, never forget it. Number two, the sweetest pineapple in the world in Jamaica. I bought a piece of pineapple in a plastic bag from a guy at Halfway Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When I bit into it, I started coughing. The thing was so sweet. It was. I asked him, "Is it, guy, you add sugar to this?" He said, No. I was convinced he added sugar to it. Yeah.
No, man. Yeah, that's a special breed. In fact, it's grown in St. Mary.
My goodness.
Yeah, man.
That and the third thing, when I was staying at the Pegasus, I awoke to a smell. I followed that. I quite until it got right down to the cafeteria. That mountain, the Blue Mountain coffee. Oh yeah. My goodness, that is heavenly. That is heavenly. That is heavenly. So I keep telling people about those three things.
Yeah. And don't leave out the caramel pudding that we had in the Pegasus.
Hey, remember that? My God. Hey, Flavors, if you find anybody who could make that, just let me know. Give the name and address. I just give me anybody who could make that thing the way we eat. Oh my goodness. Hey, that was
everybody in Jamaica can make that.
Really?
That's actually favorite.
Really?
That's your favorite. Yeah, man. Yeah,
man, that is phenomenal.
I grew up on that.
Man, that's the kind of food you eat when you're locked down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
That's lockdown food.
Yeah.
But one last, I'll give a joke. I think you were there when you went shopping the day after the walk. Well, we went to souvenir shopping, and I went to a place where I saw a huge pan of Milo. I don't know if you were there, and I asked the salesperson what's the price. She told me the price is on the tin. So I said, there's no price on the tin. And she insisted, look carefully. I said, there's no price on the tin. She came over to me and took it in for me and looked at the tin and she said, see it there? I said, I thought that was a serial number. I thought it was a serial number. I saw like 10005. I said, no. She laughed. Yeah, and I felt so stupid afterwards. She had a good laugh. I tell you, it's a humor that you find here.
Can you believe that we are buying imported Milo at those prices?
No, and never happened.
And Jamaica have the best cocoa in the world.
Oh man! See, we need to do a reset. You see, we need to do a reset. And I think COVID-19 is a time when it asks us to look at that and to start realize that we can have to start producing our own food, feeding our own selves. And this is the time I think that's going to happen. You see, look at the things that we're important and we don't have to be important. Rely on ourselves for food security. We have to start feeding ourselves. We have enough lands to do it.
Okay, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, so I think this COVID-19 is one good lesson it is teaching us. We have to start to feed ourselves.
Hey, George, Ole George, before we go,
sir.
I'm going to play you a Pamal song from our R&B, It's Reggae Style.
Well, I didn't hear that, sorry.
I said before we go, I am going to play you a Pamal song from our R&B, It's Reggae Style album.
Man, you gonna get me no started now, man. You gonna get me no started now.
Well, you
gonna
mentioned her
You mess with
name.
my head.
You mentioned her
my head now,
name,
man.
and she's a legend.
We could never finish this program without playing a Pamal.
And she's a legend. I mean, we start off the show with her daughter song, so it's only fitting that we're going to wrap it up.
Man, she's the best, man. Pam Hall is the best.
Yeah, man.
Well,
I'm telling you.
it is said that her daughter will be just as good.
Flavius, you have the original and you have carbon copy. His daughter you can have two originals.
No, I know. I said just as good. I mean, she's coming. She had her first song.
Betty say coming. She cannot be just as good. Pam is the original.
No, remember I say will be.
Okay, now you talk it.
That's what I said first. Will be.
Will be. Okay. Pam is Pam, man. Pam is Pam.
Oh man, she's way out of class. Way above.
She's definitely, and she's so humble, man. She's so humble, so cool. That's what I like the best about her. Yeah, so down to earth, man. Yeah, that's what makes her powerful and great.
My favorite Pamal song is Boopsy. Dear Boopsy.
Man. Bring it on, man. Bring it on.
All right, so I'm going to play this one in him. Someday we'll be together again. Maybe someday you'll see her again. Definitely.
Big tune.